There's a case going on out of New York City right now with a brother by the name of Jordan Neely. Now, New York has been always one of my favorite cities because I get a lot of love from New York, and shout out to all the brothers and sisters out there in New York, some of you I've met. Jordan Neely was a young man that came to some internet knowledge that he used to dress up and impersonate Michael Jackson. There were photos of him doing this, internet videos. He would also like to do this not only in Times Square, but he would also like to do that in the subway to entertain people. Jordan was just living his life like normal, but later down the line between 2016, 2017, his mother lost her life brutally at the hands of a man that she was dating, his stepfather. Now, that event really disturbed and really messed with the mental health of Jordan. Ever since the tragic loss of his mother, his friends and other family members say Jordan has not been right ever since. Jordan experienced, times of homelessness, and he was homeless at this time period. New York City is a city that's very tough. It's very expensive, very. Me personally, wouldn't stay there because of just what I know from the South. I mean, New York is cool to visit, but this is ridiculously high priced. And it's rising in price. Even areas supposed to be low income is pricing in areas that's not low income anymore. So it's forcing a lot of people to become homeless. It is a crisis in New York City. And you have a lot of people with mental health issues on the streets. I seen it while I was there. Definitely this time around, it was more people I saw homeless this time going to New York than any other time. And people with severe mental illness on the street. I'm like, man, they really need to kind of get these people kind of away because, man, they can snap off on you any time. You can be walking by minding your business and somebody snap off on you because they got mental health issues. So Jordan Neely was on the subway. And while he was on the subway, he was having a mental health episode, which a lot of people have. And he started to scream that it was being reported and yelled that he was hungry because he was homeless. He didn't have anything. He said he was tired. He didn't care if he went to jail. He said he just wanted to, he don't care if he died because the man was suffering homelessness, still dealing with the loss of his mother and severe mental health issues. And he was not getting any kind of help by the mayor, Eric Adams, and also the governor. They want to spend more money putting police on the street instead of addressing the homelessness and the severe mental health issues of a lot of people that's on the streets of New York. These are American citizens. Our government rather give all this money to Ukraine instead of spending those billions of dollars getting the help that American citizens need in New York City. So reports have said that Jordan Neely was just screaming. He wasn't fighting anyone. He didn't stab anyone. He wasn't punching anyone. There was a freelance journalist there by the name of Mr. Velasquez said that he didn't actually see how anything got started, but he heard a thump. And that's where it comes to a lot of video that's being shown in pictures. I'm not going to show that video here. As you know, my policy on that, I don't like to show black people in those conditions or black people passing away like that. I think that's real traumatizing. I didn't show Tyree Nichols either. So I just want to let you know I'm not doing that. Yes, I've seen the video. Yes, I've seen the pictures, but we're just not going to post that here. You can go find that somewhere else. So the guy that was choking him with assistance from others, 24-year-old Daniel Penny. He was a former U.S. Marine. Watching the video itself was very despicable because Daniel decides to put this man in a chokehold. And it's two type of ways you can restrain. You can actually restrain somebody, just kind of like putting your arm around them and kind of putting more weight on the top part of the chest, or you trying to really snuff them out and you doing it on the neck. Daniel was trained by the United States government. He knew exactly what he was doing. And while Jordan was trying to fight, you had two other people holding the brother down, not even concerned about, hey, wait a minute, this dude, you doing this too much, dude. And then if you watch the video, Daniel not only had his arm around his neck, he stretched back. So anybody that knows anything about that, you know you're really trying to take somebody out by doing that. So he choked the brother out, and even when the brother was out, they said he still kept the hold on him for at least another few minutes after he was out. So this is why a lot of people have been saying, hey, this dude need to be charged with a crime. This dude, no. Okay, this is not right whatsoever. In my opinion, the dudes that helped him hold him down, they need to be charged too. Because after the brother was gone, by the time the paramedics got there, people was telling him, oh, he'll be all right. He all right. But while the brother was choked out. Now, the response that I want to get to is your Democrat friends. I got a couple of your Democrat friends. So let's play a clip of Governor Kathy Hochul. Let's play a clip of her. I want you to hear how she speak about the issue in related to Jordan losing his life at the hands of a vigilante who is not deputized to do anything. Let's hear what Governor Kathy has to say.
One element we have not talked about is the $1 billion investment we have in mental health services, so we don't have people who are homeless in our subways, many of them in the throes of mental health episodes, and that's what I believe are some of the factors involved here. And there's consequences for behavior, and I look at it more closely to find out whether the state has a role. People who've been out on parole have different consequences, and a judge can make a decision on whether to hold someone, or a DA can make a decision to charge them. But in a case where someone is on parole, then the state has an ability, as we've done before in more serious cases, to ensure that someone is held.
Now, you heard her saying that some actions, bring consequences. So when people heard that, and they've been on her bumper about that too, she's literally supporting Daniel here by her statement. She sounds no different than Governor DeSantis. When y'all tell me that the Democrats is so much better and they're nothing like a Republican at all, nothing like them. They support black people and all of that. That didn't sound like a Democrat that support black people at all. And she was straightforward in what she said. But a lot of you black people in New York, you went and ran and voted for her when she was up for election. I told y'all the Democrats do not like black people like that. I told you that. They do not support us. And you get frustrated because you know I'm right. But then you also get frustrated like, well, what are we supposed to do then? Who are we supposed to vote for? When y'all say that, I look at y'all like, first of all, we're presenting information. You're supposed to be voting off of policies that benefit the black community. That's it. If no candidate gives a policy for the black community, screw them. But then you saying people will say, oh no, Phil, we gotta vote. We gotta vote, Phil. We gotta vote. Come on, we can't sit out. If we don't vote, something worse gonna happen. Well, what's worse happening to people like Jordan Neely? You're voting, and your Democrat politicians is sending coded messages to their fellow cohorts of white supremacy. You understand? The Democrat Party is on team white supremacy too. And then the Democrat Party wants to maintain white supremacy. It's just not, you won't say it's a right-wing extremist. It's the left-wing extremists of the Democrat Party too. Now, let's get to your mayor of New York, Eric Adams. Let's get to him. Former NYPD, Eric Adams. He worked a long time with the NYPD. And so many of y'all supported Eric Adams, and oh boy, Eric Adams. He has really showed himself He is not for black people. He is a black face maintaining white supremacy. But see, that's what black people get. Because we're going to roll a clip, but that's what you get. Because instead of paying attention to a person's policy, you're paying attention to a person's skin color. Black folk, I get on them folks about the certain things they do, but I'm going to get on you here in a minute. But let's go ahead on and roll Eric Adams, that clip, and let's get at you.
On the question of vigilantism, what do passengers do in situations like that? Is it appropriate to take matters into your own hands?
Each situation is different, and how a passenger, we have so many cases where passengers assist of the riders, and we don't know exactly what happened here until the investigation is thorough. And each situation is different. I was a former transit police officer, and I responded to many jobs where you had a passenger assisted someone. And so we cannot just blankly say what a passenger should or should not do in a situation like that. We should allow the investigation to take its course.
So Eric Adams say we shouldn't say what a passenger should or should not do. Last time I checked, that guy isn't law enforcement. He isn't the city council. He isn't anything related to that to handle it. He wasn't a transit cop. Talking about Daniel there, right? But your black mayor, Eric Adams, speaking no different than Rudy Giuliani. No different. But these are your Democrats that you support. Black folks, the reason why I say this is a lot of times with these black politicians, your fault. You got to get out of that. Just because I see him look like me, he got my same skin color, he going to be for me or she's going to be for me. How many times that you got to get burned like this? Stop voting looking at a person's skin color and look at their policies. If their policies don't help the black community, then you don't vote for them. If a candidate's policies help the black community, you vote for them, whether they black, white, Asian, Arab, Indian, whoever. And if they don't have nobody that have any kind of policies that would help our community, then you sit it out. That would be the logical thing to do so they can bring you a policy. But some of y'all still stuck on this. The first this, we just want to see some representation. I don't want representation. If Eric Adams is my representation, I don't want that. Hell no, I don't need that kind of representation. I don't need a black face carrying the white supremacy agenda. Don't need to see, I don't need it. I'd rather deal with a real white supremacist because at least I can galvanize y'all to do something if you see a real white, and that's the new game with the white supremacists, hope you know. They're going to be using black people and other quote unquote people of color to pass out their agenda, what they're trying to do. Because see, it's too easy to galvanize against them when they do it. But when Eric Adams do it or Barack Obama does it, understand what I'm saying? Then you're not going to go and react the same. If a Barack Obama or Eric Adams do anything or Leticia James do something, you understand what I'm saying? That's their new insidious strategy against black folk. So you have two major Democrat politicians literally towing the white supremacy line. Now, Daniel's name was exposed by the grassroots on social media. So the media had to put his name out. Okay? Now, if the roles reverse, and we know this, we got to say this. If it was Jordan doing this to Daniel, it wouldn't have been a conversation. He would already have a charge on him immediately. You have to understand the purpose of them constantly running that video in a loop on the media. The purpose of them are only showing you as black people in these conditions is to keep you in fear and to keep you in line. They because you understand, y'all have been kind of lately checking them. You know, like the video that was a while back, this one white woman said the N-word to a black chick and they beat her like she stole something. There's other videos y'all been checking these white supremacists, so they say, oh no, we got to get them black folks in line. So let's do something heinous. Because see, that was their tactic ever since slavery. Let's do something heinous to them, let them see it, and then they're going to be all in fear. It's going to happen to them. But to be honest with you, it's actually backfiring because You've shown it so much, you have desensitized a lot of people. Well, they're not really worried about it like that, like you think. But I want you to see how the Democrats respond. Now, listen, the only Democrat that I can agree with right now is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She's the only one that actually said what it was, that he needed to be charged with murder. Period. I agree with Alexandria 100%. She is the only one that's speaking actually some common sense. But Eric Adams and Kathy Hochul, oh no, they towing the white supremacy line. You don't put them in jail. You put the black man and the black woman in jail. Understand? You got these elections coming up in 2024. You need to think about that. Look at your friend Biden. He's not saying a word, is he? Ooh, he quiet. Kamala, where your sister girl Kamala at? Chucks and pearls. Why, she your first black, so-called black vice president, right? Where's she at to talk about this, right? She should be on the forefront speaking about it. If Joe don't want to say nothing. They all toe the line of white supremacy, and you have black collaborators that's doing that. This is why we still in the condition that we're in. Let's think about this for a minute. If every black person was on code and every black person say no to being a part of participating in white supremacy, we would be free tomorrow. If every black person would shop with black people, we hire each other, we have a political agenda that say either you do for black people or we don't vote for you, no matter the political party, don't matter. We don't matter the color of the politician, don't matter. Because we don't hate nobody. We just say what we need, right? And stick to that, we actually can get somewhere as a people. But unfortunately, there's too many of y'all that want to participate in white supremacy. It's too many of y'all that believe in them folks to save you. And this is why you have Democrat as a religion. But if you're going to have Democrat as a religion, at least let the Democrats show up for you. Not how Eric Adams is responding. Sounding like Rudy Giuliani. Come on now. I thought the Democrats were better. That's what y'all told me. Y'all told me I'm wrong some of the things that I say. This is a time for the Democrats to show what y'all talking about. And every time they fail you because they're not invested into protecting you or me. They are invested in the maintaining white supremacy. And part of maintaining white supremacy is to make sure you maintain a way that they can hurt and harm black people without consequence. Now, black people have been responding as causing some minimal consequences for them, and they're not liking that. Y'all sending them to jail, y'all turning up. They don't like all that because they feel that they should be able to do whatever they want to do to you, and you just go home and just forgive them. But Jordan Neely needs justice. He needs that. The city of New York needs to be sued as well. I'm pretty sure Benjamin Crump will be showing up. Because if I was him, I would, at this point. I would be the family attorney right now if I was Benjamin Crump. Or Lee Merritt or whoever else. Because New York got a big bag. And that family need it. Right? But this man needs to be charged. Because he knew what he was doing. That's the thing. It's like if someone's a trained boxer or MMA fighter or some martial arts and they do something to someone, usually the court would give them more time because they usually view their hands as deadly. Because they were trained like that. This guy is no different. This guy was trained to kill by the U.S. military. He knew what he was doing. And he chose to do it anyway. But let me know what y'all think about this particular story. We're going to stay looking at the development of this story. Jordan needs justice. And the people do not need to be silent until State Attorney Alvin Bragg bring charges. Because let's call it what it is, Alvin Bragg. You did all this fanfare about Trump for some financial things, right? But yet you won't deal with this? You sit up there and put charges on a former president. But you taking all day with this? Like, what's going on with that? When you got a video, you have a video. And Alvin Bragg, yes, he has a soft on crime approach. I don't understand that because New York is not a city and needs to become lawless. It's way too many people in that city. But there was news that just come through the wire and say there are grand juries. Go, no. That grand jury stuff, because what he's trying to do is he's trying to put it off on the grand jury. Instead of him saying, you know what, I'm charging with this, and the third. So the grand jury be on code, because let's call it what it is. Grand juries don't look like me and you. It's them folks. For the most part. Every jury in America, the majority of the jury is them folks. There's no laws on the books where it says they have to have so many black people. None. They still can do almost all white juries. There's no law against that. I don't know why they didn't fight for that during the civil rights movement. Because that's how they still incarcerate black people. Studies have shown if just one black person on the jury, a black person's conviction rate goes down. If there's two or more, even better. They actually get a fair trial. So I told y'all, you put me on the jury, I'm going to listen to the case. Oh, I'm going to listen to it thoroughly. I'm not going to just say, oh, I'm going to let him out. No. But if I listen to the case, I listen to the defense, and I see it railroading somebody, nope, not guilty. We want to go home. I don't care what you want to do. Not guilty. Just like that. Get mad if you want. Not guilty. That's why they don't put me in no jury. I was laughing one day. My partner was telling me, Phil, you know they're not going to call you for jury duty, right? I said, why are they going to call me jury duty? They know who every jury is and what you do. You way too opinionated on politics for them to pick you. And, you know, a few times they have brought me over there, they never put me on a jury. I'll be ready for to be on the jury. Like, nope, not him. Not him. But let me know what y'all think about this particular story. Remember, this is your Democrats responding. This is your Democrats. The ones that you said were your friends and got your back. The Democrats. And look at what they do to you.